Good day, Aqua friends. Today we are going to do this abstract loose landscape, and I am wetting my paper in the first step really well with a hacky brush. I used a very simple palette. I am using sap green and shadow green with some leaf green as well. So I'm basically loosely laying down these greens and the shadowed areas like I see in the reference photo. I kind of left some negative space, some white of the paper, and I am dropping in some purples. I did use some bright violet, some cobalt violet, and for a varied effect on the color purple, I did add some cobalt blue to it as well. So while it's still wet, as you see, the strokes are nice and loose. It's a very soft, feathery effect. And I am just getting in as much of it as I can. The second step is while your paper is still wet, I am using tissue paper. It's actually Kleenex because it's softer than paper towel. And I just took a corner and twisted it so that I could get almost the shape of the sprays of lavender. And I'm lifting because I want to do wet on dry details. So now that my paper is drying, the more layers that I'm adding to it, they're sharper. That's because the paper's drying, and basically we're working wet on dry now. So I'm putting in the blades of grass and the darker details, some of the shadowed areas in the grass with my sap green and shadow green. Now I'm coming in with a very vibrant mixture of my purples, and I'm varying it. Sometimes I'll pick up just the pure violet, the bright violet, and sometimes I'll add a little bit of the cobalt just to vary the color so that it adds interest to your painting. And because our paper is drying, these sprays of the lavender are showing up more defined. But I still consider this to be a one-layer painting because we're doing this all in one sitting and we're not waiting for it to dry. As the paper dries, you get more defined brush strokes. So you can pop in as many of the lavender sprays as you want until it looks right to you. And from here, I'm taking my script liner brush and adding a few stems, connecting those sprays with their stem, just to add a little bit more contrast, more realistic effect, a little bit more detail. And really that is it. This is a half-hour painting. It's inspiring for the spring, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.